was taping a show, an all-women show, let's say. They do the interviews before you do your stand-up. You know, sometimes they use that as the documentary. This guy from behind the camera was asking me what kind of job did I have before I did comedy. And I said, and he goes, were you like a barber? And I said, barber?
When you were talking with you, I
was like, what would make you jump? Now, I'm such an asshole. I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm doing this interview, and I'm attacking this guy. I'm like, and everyone's laughing.
Oh, they're taping as you're like, barber?
I'm like, why would I be a barber? Like, what made you go, were you a barber? Do I look like a barber? Does it look like that was my choice?
Right.
And then someone goes, oh, it's his first day. Never mind him. And I was like, yeah. Barber, really? And he looked kind of like, in the darkness, I saw him, and I was like, he looked young, and he looked like, you know, sometimes you just see people, you feel you can pick on them.
Yeah.
So I just continued with it. Yes. Yeah. And then I was done with that taping, and I go back behind the camera to say thank you to everyone, and I'm looking at the guy, and he looks kind of familiar. And I made fun of his hair. I'm like, oh, look at your hair. You look, he's black. He's got like really curly waves. I'm like, use mixed chick products. You know, I'm just having a field day with him. Just having so much fun making fun of him. He's just real quiet and shy. And I'm thinking, this guy looks so familiar. And then all of a sudden I'm looking and I'm like, still doesn't come.
You still not getting it?
No.
Yeah.
So later on we do more taping. Like we have a break and do more taping. And later on, and I'm doing this thing. It's with Wanda Syke, right?
Yeah.
And I see this guy again, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I was like, that's Pootie Tang.
So you were
like, oh my God.
You were goofing on Pootie Tang the whole time.
That's who that is. I was like, I knew him, but it wasn't, you know, you just sit there, you're like, I know this guy from somewhere, but I don't, it's not clicking. I was like, that's Pootie Tang. But he doesn't have the tail.
Okay.
You know, obviously I made him, you know, who wouldn't be confused, because Pootie Tang had that tail, it was very clearly recognizable, and now he's just got this short haircut. It continues. My awfulness.
Are you serious? Oh, that wasn't the end of it. What did you end up doing?
I ended up drinking too much that night. Oh. I had way too much wine, which I do often.
Right, yeah.
And we were at the after party and hanging out after this taping, and after I drink, I start to see things that aren't there. And I see him, and it's like a nice glow, I think he's looking at me in a way, and I'm like, he does look kind of good, and I was like, I think he wants me. Like, I started really believing this. I'm sitting there and I'm going, Pootie Tang wants me. And if I don't say something before this night is over, I have to say something. The drunk mind wants to deal with things immediately.
Pootie Tang's a good looking dude.
Yeah, he was good. The light was hitting him. It was the bar scene.
He had a halo. He had everything.
Yeah, everything was starting to click. So he's leaving the party, and I'm like, I gotta do something now.
Yeah.
And actually, what happened was, I was like, can I get a picture with you? And Wanda was like, oh, let me take a picture with you guys. She takes pictures of us, you know, and I look at the picture, because this is something that I believe, that if the picture looks good with the guy, then it was meant to be.
That's a good theory, though.
Yeah, I'm like, if we don't look good together, then it's not gonna work.
Right. So it's almost like that's your litmus test when you see. Yeah. So you're like innocently will ask for a picture and be like, all right, and then you'll go. That's like your.
Yeah. Leave photo well.
Right.
This is the one.
Yeah.
And so I see this photo, and I'm like, I look so good with him. Lance and I, me and Pootie Tang. It can happen. And I take that moment, and he's leaving. He's about to leave, and I said, wait, I just want to say something to you. I always do this thing. I told my whole theory about photographs.
Yeah.
And I said, and we took such a beautiful picture together, and I think that you and I just were really meant to be together. And he was like slowly exiting the door, backing away from me, and like there was a light shining behind his head.
He was going back up to heaven.
Yeah, he was like, as he left my life. He left my life.
A supernatural Pootie Tang.
And I was like so embarrassed. As that door closed, I was like, oh no. What is going to happen now?
And did he say anything? He just
what he said was
he just backed up like a cartoon and just went boom, 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 boom.
it was like a. And then the door closed.
Oh my God.
And Wanda was gone. Everyone was back to dancing and everything.
Now, was Wanda like standing there when you said this to him?
No.
Oh, she wasn't standing. It was like a private moment that happened that
It wasn't really a private moment. I mean, people were standing near.
But nobody heard.
But no one heard. But I'm sure everyone's heard. Because the next day I did tell someone about it. Like, I told a close friend that knows Wanda and him. And I told him about, and he goes, Marina. I go, what? He goes, Lance is married. Happily married. And has 3 kids.
But in all honesty, he could have just said that.
No, he's happily married and has 3 kids. And my whole theory about photographing did not include that thought in it.
Oh, it's just the photograph. The photograph never lies. Doesn't matter if you're married. The photograph never lies.
Yeah.
Divorce your wife. If the photograph speaks to me,
Yes.
you will divorce your wife and you will be together.
Yes. So, anyway, that's the story. And where I'm at with it now is I want to apologize. I want to do that after drunk day apology. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I just had too much wine.
Right. Well, there's no way to get in touch with
Well, this way.
Oh, yeah, this will do it.
I'm sorry, Pootie Tang. Saturday.